All right, good morning, everybody. Give me a few moments to get started. Just taking a look at what we'll be watching here for the day. Let's take a look at futures. If you guys see on futures has kind of a cup and handle. You can see, just like I showed you guys, these lines potentially looking to break out of this handle. So let's see if it can get above this kind of horizontal resistance area and continue up. We'll have to see. It's hitting resistance now, so we'll keep an eye on it and watch. So again, staying on the theme with what we've been trying to teach you guys. Hope you're really paying attention to our trade alerts and watch lists every day. You'll see many a times what we're doing is we're putting stocks that hold their highs at the end of the day, looking for potential breakouts, right? The following day or shortly after. Be aware that many of times the stocks won't break out necessarily the next day. Many a times they'll wait a day or two. So if it doesn't break the high of the previous day, what does it do? It either dumps or it pulls back. And when you have pullback days, kind of like this, so it's like, you know, stock goes up. If it doesn't break a high, it starts to come back, right? And then it forms patterns. It either just falls and dumps, or it forms into flags, right? So many times if we're putting a stock on a high a day and it doesn't go, it comes back, and then it'll form into things like flags. And then you take that flag and overall it turns into kind of a cup and handle, right? So you'll see many times on our watch list, a stock won't break out. It takes a few days and then it forms a flag in an overall cup and handle. Then it goes and it launches. And perfect example of that was Overstock.com this week. That was an absolute utter perfection of what I'm talking about. That this was on our watch list going into Monday. It was holding this green candle. It's kind of a high wave. I'm not a huge fan of high wave candles, to be honest with you. I usually avoid them, but I saw it was right near that 50 SMA. What did it do? I think this must have been Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, Monday and Tuesday it pulled back. What did that do? Well, look, flag pull. Kind of a flag. Now you can see a cup and handle. There's a flag. And what did it do? Tuesday, Wednesday. Or so this must have been Monday. I forget which day was which. What day we had it on the watch list. I think it launched on Wednesday and then Thursday. So this is Wednesday. This is Thursday. This is Tuesday. Monday. So it must have, that's when it kind of formed the tweezer tops. Pull back, and then it launched right here. 1150. Took off. There's your cup and handle breakout. So why do I tell you that? Because keep an eye on one. We're watching ESV. I don't know if this one was on the watch list this week at this point or one that I was watching in the pre-market. But you'll see I'm kind of showing you guys things just to stay away from the herd. Again, the herd this morning, they're all looking at all the low floaters. We're trying to take you away from the herd. If you know, kind of like this, whatever, if you've been paying attention to what I'm teaching you, whatever I'm showing you on 5-minute charts, if that's a too slow, then just kind of, again, take this in. I'm showing you 5-minute bull flags. The way I like to trade, I like to have a good daily breakout and a 5-minute chart setup, and I'm only looking, my primary thing is I'm looking for 5-minute bull flags. If I don't see a good 5-minute bull flag, then chances are I'm probably not going to take a trade. So you can say, well, then you're not going to take many trades. Well, that's fine. I'm only looking to trade the best setups, right? I want really low risk management. I want to be able to get in, get a breakout, decide when I'm going to take the profits or ride the 9, you know, kind of ride the 9, get out. So I'm looking for medium and higher float stocks that break out, that give me time to make a decision, right? So with that, if you're like, I don't like that approach, that takes too long or that's too slow for me, then it's very simple. Don't look at a 5-minute chart. Look at a 1-minute chart. So if the 5 is too slow for you, look for the same exact thing on a 1-minute chart. Look for bull flags on a 1-minute chart. That's your safest way. Let a stock break out, pull back to the 9 or the 9 EMA or the 13, whatever your preference is. Give you a small little candle, smaller risk, let it break out, and then decide when you're going to take profits. You know, that's up to you when you're going to decide to take them. So I say all this because these are stocks that not a lot of people are paying attention to right now. Like ESV, here's a perfect example. It's a super high float stock, hardly any volume this morning, probably not on anybody's radar. The reason why I'm watching this is you can see stock's been in a downtrend. Here's a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, inverse head and shoulders. Does it mean it's going to break out? Not necessarily, but you can see there's a doji bouncing off that 20 EMA. It's trading sideways. If this stock could get some volume at the open, kind of push up and get above 872, this could be an inverse head and shoulders daily breakout. And if you catch it over here, you might be able to catch it. It might not break out today. It might not break out at all, but it might take Monday or Tuesday, whatever. Just that's why I have a watch list right here. I kind of go through our daily watch list and then ones that we're watching for the week. And then I kind of scan through the ones for the week and see what's happening. And here's one that might be setting up. So I want to see, is it going to break above 850, then 872? If it can break above 872, that one might have the ability to launch. And then you have an inverse head and shoulders breakout, all right? Next one I'm looking at is UEPS. This is kind of more of a medium floater. This is one I believe was on our watch list as well. And you can see this one kind of, I think I put it on, I think it was on our watch list when I had it right over in here. I believe, again, I'm thinking what we would typically do. We put it on when it's holding its highs for the potential break of $4, right? Whole dollar amount. But what did it do? It pulled back. So if it doesn't break out, it pulls back. And look, what did it do? It has a flag pattern here in an overall now cup and handle. So if you guys were watching it, this is not a huge mover. But again, if you got in at just a break of, let's say, this little hammer candle or right over here, it bounced again, you know, this might be a kind of a medium float stock. Gave you a little bit earlier of an entry, maybe around this 380s area. And look, this may be, we'll see, setting up for a possible inverse head and shoulders or an ascending triangle potential breakout above $4. We'll have to watch and see. It's broaching it right now. It's broaching right at that $4. So obviously $4, incredibly important resistance area. You want to see it go and break out above and hold and continue up. If it doesn't, then it forms a double top failure. But you guys see the pattern? Cup, or there's a flag in an overall cup and handle near a whole dollar amount. Watch and see if it can break out. Again, one right now, no volume. You want to see it get volume, so if it goes and breaks out, you want to see the volume come in, obviously. But this is, we'll have to watch at the open, see what happens. But I can show you guys, it's a pattern, it's a medium float stock, less likely to pump and dump on you. Next one we'll look at. Hold on a second. This one was on our watch list from last night going into today. Kind of the same type of theory, right? This one broke out, was kind of holding its highs yesterday. See if it can get above 505 and continue. It's a little bit overextended. It had a double bottom break. So, if it can go up and continue, watch next up for 520 and then 5, you know, this 200 SMA resistance. If it doesn't continue upwards, watch for a possible pullback a little bit, which might form a flag and then go and launch, right? So this is where, again, if a stock doesn't break out, many times it pulls back. When it pulls back, many times it forms flags. If it folds a flag, you know, come maybe Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, if it holds, then it might go and take and launch, right? So we're just showing you these things, patterns, right? So again, on a higher to medium float stock, it's just easier to trade with the patterns. Low floaters, again, not against them. Their strategy that you're looking there is these just launch. See, this is what happens with the low floaters, stuff like this. If you know how to trade, then great, go trade these, right? Again, like if you guys been listening to me, I don't like low floaters. That's not my style because I'm looking for patterns. And if I look at a 5-minute chart, I don't get good setups right here. You can see it's just kind of just pumping and dumping on you all the time. but many people love this setup. So if I'm looking for 5-minute bull flags and you like a low floater, all you have to do is the same thing I'm showing you on a 5-minute. Just go right over here to a 1-minute and just go right over here and say, where's my 1-minute bull flag? Let me zoom out a little bit. Right over here. Where's my 1-minute bull flag? Kind of right here, and then somewhere right in here. And then after that, it just gets crazy, right? So you have, if you don't get in before the breakout, you have maybe one shot, and then it starts to get a roller coaster. And then there you go. So I'm looking for these, more of kind of this type of setup. Or this one right here. That's a good, right in here. But you got to be careful after that second pullback, that third on out. You got to be very careful, and you can see then it goes and dumps. So you're looking just for the bull flags. I'm looking for this, kind of this, kind of this over here. And as you can see in a 5-minute chart, you don't see it. Maybe you would have risked over here. Personally, I don't like high wave spinning top candles. I don't like all those wicks and shadows. I like clear, right? So something like, let's see if I can show you guys. Let's look at AXL. Daily. So AXL, another one right here. Kind of had a cup and handle break, or an inverse head and shoulders breakout. See if it can continue up. I'd look to see if it can get above 13 bucks. But kind of like this, when a stock goes up, comes back to the moving average line. Let's see if it's going to hold, continue, and break out. I want to see it clearer to the moving average lines. This is not as clear for me, but on the daily, I want to see it continue up and get above that $13. So remember, with AXL, if it doesn't get above $13, watch for a pullback a little bit, see if it flags, and then goes and takes off. All right? I'm telling you guys, keep an eye on these watch lists. These today, remember, today is Friday. You know, Fridays are typically kind of difficult days to trade. A lot of them don't do much of anything. So if these ones I'm kind of showing you today don't do something today, I'd bet money one or two will do something some point a few days into next week. Remember, flag pull up. If it doesn't continue, watch for a couple pullbacks. Then you can see, oh, this is a perfect example. This thing's either going to go and continue up, or it's going to either dump. Now, typically, it's probably not going to dump as much. We'll see. It's a higher float, so it could be a more of a slower drop down, but we'll have to see. You can see it's closed above the 50 SMA. If it can't get above 13 bucks, it might stair step down right back to this 12, right between here, right? Maybe form a flag, see if that 9 EMA will catch up. Again, it's a little bit further away from it. And if it does, at some point, if it holds a flag, what will this be? Then you can turn this into a cup and handle, and then it might go and launch. I hope you guys are paying attention. This is very, very key stuff. This is a way to be able to, we're trying to teach you how to day trade while having a job and not having to panic being in a low float stock that gives you seconds to trade. And most people don't realize when they're getting started with day trading, you know, they join some service and they're like, oh, I want to go where all the action is, right? So it's very sexy, right? Nice and sexy, all the low floaters. It's, wow, look at that. $1.50 stock shot up to $10 today. Woohoo, that's amazing, right? Well, that's fantastic that's where all the action is, but that's where all the action is, right? So if you're new and you go to where all of the action is and you have no clue what a bull flag is and when to get in and get out, that's where you're going to bury yourself. You're going to blow up your brokerage account because you're going to buy at the top of a flagpole, not at the base near a flag where the flag is pulling back and then going. The reason why is because most traders don't know how to, again, they don't know patterns. They don't know what a bull flag is. If you literally just listen to me, like what I'm teaching you guys, if you only just traded bull flags and got in at the break of a base of a flag and not a flagpole, that alone would help you guys so much. So if you're listening, learn bull flags, right? A bull flag, you know, just to show you guys, You know, it's kind of like goes up, comes back to the moving average lines. Again, I like to see a little bit smaller candles. You know, something like, kind of like this, goes up, down here a little bit. Again, I like to see more of a, like this kind of candle. I'd like to see this green candle right over in here. So stock goes up, pulls back, smaller candle near the 9 EMA or 13, whichever one you prefer, then let it take off. Stair step up, come back down to the 9 EMA, risk off this candle, let it break out, take your profits. Like this, stock goes up, comes back down, right near the 9 EMA, little candle, get in on the break. So this is where I like to see them a little bit cleaner than this, but this is where at open, all I do, guys, very simple, over and over, just trying to show you guys, if you guys have been watching this week, trying to make it simple. I have like 2 of these types of charts set up, and look, if you guys will see, I have 5-minute charts right here. 5-minute charts, and all I'm going to look for is a 5-minute bull flag. I may see nothing before 11 o'clock today, or one of them might go, or I'll just look at a high day scanner and just search for a 5-minute bull flag. So hopefully you guys are paying attention. I'm going to let you guys, actually you might stay on for a minute. EVH is another one that might be creeping up right down here, where you can see it might be holding support on the daily right around that 762-ish area. This may be forming a reversal. You can see just possible right at that 840 pre-market. See if it can go and continue above. Get some volume. Obviously, these ones I'm showing you guys, I want to see volume. And then when it breaks out, remember, when a stock breaks above resistance, you want to see it pull back and hold support, and ideally kind of form those flags before they break out. Market is open, just keeping an eye on Kush Bottles is moving up a little bit. Let's take a look at that one. Kush Bottles, I believe, is a pot stock, marijuana stock. So now you can see it's breaking above 505. Very light on volume. So now at this point, if you liked Kush Bottles, you'd like to see volume come in. I personally, I'm letting volume come in. I'm letting the market play out for a few minutes, see if it goes above this area, and then comes back and gives me a flag. Many times you get these false breakouts, not many volume, then it goes and reverses and then fails support and dumps down. So AXL may be creeping up as well. So again, just let the volume come in. I'm just looking over here, guys. As you guys can see, not a lot of volume right now. So I just wouldn't rush to do anything. That's why I'll just let this thing go. Let Kush Bottles go. See if it gets some volume. See if it pulls back. I'm looking at AXL now. This one intrigues me a little bit more. Again, I want to see volume holding its highs, continuing up. So it's potentially breaking out above $13, but I want to see more volume. So I'll let this thing go and break out, let it pull back to $13 and see if I'll get a flag to $13 with some volume, or if it's just going to go and dump. So I'm looking for, me personally, what I'm looking for is 5-minute bull flags. If I don't get a 5-minute bull flag in a good daily, I'm just not going to take a trade. And as I was telling you guys yesterday, you might say, oh, you're going to miss a lot of trades that way. That's fine. I'm also not going to blow up my account and make stupid trades as well, because I'm trading with really good risk management. This is a start of a flagpole. Many new traders buy at the top of flagpoles. They don't wait for flags on the way back. They're not patient. They're not disciplined. And UEPS is creeping up a little bit. to a potential breakout area. Again, needs volume. You'll see it's near resistance. Oh, that's the wrong one right here. So right here, like I was showing you guys, kind of a cup and handle. It's getting at the top of the cup. It's breaking out at the top of the cup. Now, I want to see the retest. I want volume retest for confirmation. If it holds, I'd like to see a bull flag to continue up. You guys see this? Possible flagpole. Got to watch and see how it forms in the next few minutes. AXL, possible flagpole, right? Breakout. I want to see it come back and retest. So I want to see AXL get kind of a retest down. Same thing with UEPS. Actually, AXL is starting to get volume, if you notice. Now it's 120,000. I like seeing that. This is something I like a little bit more, right? Now we're starting to get over 100,000. I like to see, you know, 200,000-300,000 before, you know, I'd consider maybe looking at this one. UEPS, no volume, right? So you can see this is kind of breaking out, but no volume at all. Don't like to see that. Kush bottles, another one, kind of breaking out, not much volume yet. And let's look at ENDP. This is one that's creeping as well. Now you can see this one creeping above the moving average lines. You can see this is kind of a super high float. I just looking at how it's creeping up to that 419. Again, want to look for these 5-minute candles. AXL, let's go take a look at that one now. So AXL has a 5-minute flagpole up. Now at this point, is it going to break 1316 and go up, or is it going to stair step back down? I personally like to let it go up. I want to see it come back down because it's far away from the 9, but it can go and just this can still continue and go up. It's creeping up a little bit there now. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. For those that like 1 minute setups, right here, very overextended on a 1 minute. Like to see it. I'm looking for a stair step back down on a 5 minute. If you like 1 minute charts, you're just going to look at the same thing on a 1 minute. And you would trade the 1 minute setup if you want to go quicker. You guys see right now it's showing some potential weakness because it's overextended. Doesn't mean it can't continue up. It's just overextended. If you notice, AXL is still going up, but the volume's not really going up. You guys see right here? The volume's still not kind of coming in. And it's still showing some weakness right now. And with UEPS, right? Remember I was showing you guys? Where's the volume? Volume didn't come in, so what did it do? It broke out, right? There's your flagpole up. Now you have a dark cloud cover on the way back down. That's a bearish pattern. That's not a flag right now. Right? This is basically a head and shoulders on a 1 minute. So, breaks out. No volume. Volume didn't go. Now, where's my flag? I don't see one. Right? So, this is where false breakouts happen. A new trader would come in. And this is why we tell people, hey, don't just trade a stock because it's on our watch list. We say it over and over and over again. Watch for a stock to break out. Watch and see if it retests. Watch and see if you get the volume. If there's confirmation, if there's a flag, then you think about getting in the trade, and then you decide when you're gonna take your profits. You have to know candlesticks, and if you're like, I don't know candlesticks, what does that mean? Take our courses, right? We tell people don't be lazy. We give you all the tools to really help you, but there's a lot of people in this world, when they're learning trading, they don't want to do the work, right? And if you guys have been following us for any length of time, you know, to learn these patterns, if you're like, I don't know what a dark cloud cover is. You know how long it took me to learn what it is to do dark card? It took me looking at thousands of charts, right? So if you think you're like, you're going to get this overnight, you're not. It's going to take a long time. You're going to have to come every single day for months, if not a year plus, and say, okay, what's a head and shoulders? Let me look at a chart. Oh, that's a 1 minute kind of head and shoulders. That's a little funky looking. What is this? That's a dark cloud cover. Okay, that's, I mean, there's 50, 100 popular candlestick patterns that just going to take you looking at every single day, all these charts. And then they start to kind of form these patterns, and then eventually you're like, oh, okay, now I know why the stock market dumped today. It's not just because of that news. Oh, the stock market forms patterns, right? And those patterns form very important support and resistance levels. So ESV, let me take a look at that one. So this one's kind of intriguing me, right? I posted this one on social media today. This is that one. Look at it. It's trading sideways, right? How's the volume doing on this? Let me put it up here. All right, volume's slowly building. I'm liking the look of this. I want to see it get above 850. Why do I want to see it get above 850? What did I tell you guys at the beginning of this stream? If my computer will work here. Look at bouncing off that 20 EMA, bouncing it off again right here. Possible moving average lines pinching, inverse head and shoulders. That's saying possible. This could dump. This could easily dump. This is saying watch for a possible daily breakout at some point coming. Maybe in the near future. If it's not today, maybe some point next week. Needs to get above 850, which is this kind of above this doji candle, and then above that 872-ish area, high a day back over here. If this thing can go and get above those, this thing, you know, above that 850, that may set up for a possible launch to break out, and then you'd have a daily breakout. Then you might see the 9 and 20 cross and push price up after this thing's been buried. So as you can see, this thing's just creeping up. Not on many people's radar, slowly building volume. Watch the patterns. I still don't like the pattern on a 5 minute right now. It's still choppy. I want to see it get above 850, and we'll see if it holds. ENDP, I was looking at this one slowly creeping up to that 419. Slowly again, a little bit further extended. Want to see that 9 EMA catch up and push it above. AXL, just want to show you guys with this. This is where I'm starting to look at it a little bit closely. Slowly building that volume. Remember, guys, you can say like, oh, 268,000, not a lot of volume, right? Remember, most people have really small accounts that are learning how to trade. You know, most people don't have $50,000 and $100,000 brokerage accounts. So you can come in a stock like AXL. It's getting close to 300,000. You know, you can see, you know, kind of break inverse head and shoulders breakout. See if it continues. This is where, again, a little overextended. I was watching to see, is it going to form a flag back down? I was just a little intrigued, but I don't like that high wave candle. But a stock like this, just to give you an example, I don't like the pattern now, but if it gives you a bull flag or something, you know, a $13 stock, if that thing moved 20 cents, 30 cents, and you bought 1,000 shares, that's $200 to $300. If this thing got 500,000 volume and you only traded 1,000 shares of it, scalped 20 cents, made your $200, get out, stay away from the herd. Does that make sense? Hopefully you guys are listening. What am I looking at? What am I looking at? ESV slowly creeping up to that 850. Let's look at these ones. So you can look at this one and you're like, why are you not looking at FRSX, right? The reason why right now, so this is the high a day. It's kind of a lower to medium float stock. Again, I told you I like 5 minutes at this. That's what I want. See, you guys, this is what I want to show you guys. This is what I'm looking for when the market opens. Right here. Looking for that. That's a bull flag. I want to see that at the open. What is this shaded gray area? This is pre-market. The market open, it launched. I bet money, I don't have trade ideas up right now, but I would bet money this is hitting trade ideas. Look at tons of volume, crazy huge flag pulls up. So what I would like to see at this point, I'd like to see a 5-minute pullback. Probably not realistic because everybody's staring at it right now. So that's why I'm going away from the herd. Where is the herd right now? They're probably right over in here. Again, tons of volume, huge daily breakout, and here's what's going on. Right here. This is right here. You had one shot here and one shot right here. If you didn't get here, you know what's happening? The herd is all over here now. Now everything is risky out here because it's super far away from the moving average lines. You want to see the pull back down, but it's going to be a lot more difficult because of all these high wave and crazy candlesticks. And why are these all crazy? Because everybody's staring at it and the bulls and the bears are duking it out over here. So here was a shot down here. If you didn't get in there, right over here. And if you didn't get in here, look, all the volume comes in, huge crazy candlesticks, and then you got this, right? And it's not looking, not seeing anything I love at the moment. I'm just looking for some patterns, guys, see if there's anything I like. On a 1 minute, looks like IMGN might be forming a possible pennant pattern. So I would look at this more, right, on a 5 minute. But as you can see, far away from that 9 EMA. I want to see the stock pull back to that 9 EMA. Give me a good pattern before I take a trade. And just as I showed you guys from before, I'll show you again. This is what I'm looking at right here. I have a few screens up. You'll see, here's my 5 minute on AXL. I'm looking at it now. I don't like it right now, but what I'm looking for is, okay, it's pulling back to that 9 EMA. Watch to see if this forms a flag. What is going on with ESV? It's rejecting at 850. It's pulling back. Not a clear-cut flag right now. It's a bit messy. UEPS, dark cloud cover, coming back down. It's definitely a lot sharper, not a kind of a clearer cut one. So right here, this could bounce on AXL, push up, and give me a smaller candle where that flag might still look better, potentially. EVH, this is potentially intriguing. This green candle up to 840 messes things up a bit, but it might be doing a symmetrical triangle-ish here. Again, like I tell you, I like more personally bull flags, but I wouldn't discount EVH. That one might be setting up lower near the 9 EMA. This is when I would watch a little bit more. EVH's volume still very low. And then I have another screen up over here, and you can see. All right, I was looking at Jill. That's failing. VSTM is just tanking. I'm actually looking at potentially ENDP. Will it get a bounce and a smaller candle? We'll see. Maybe it turns into a cup and handle on this, or it will just done. If it can hold that 9 EMA, catch up, and give you a smaller candlestick, then it might form a cup and handle. If not, it's just going to be a double top failure. So as you guys can see, this is patience. We're 20 minutes into the market. Very slow. Very methodical, no forcing to trade. Again, so if you're new and you're listening, a couple things. You have to think about your environment, where you're in, how you're looking to trade, what you're looking to make. If you're new to the industry, day trading, what is your daily life like? So if you want to day trade and you work from home and you have no distractions, or you can be at home, you have a $25,000 plus brokerage account, you have no distractions, you have time to stare at your computer screen for an hour or two a day, or even for an hour, first hour of the market. If you have that time, then you can come into these low floaters and trade these things. Where's the one I was looking at? Or FRSX. You can be staring here, boom, no distractions, scalp this thing up, take your profits, and be done. Right? So now you can zoom in here, by the way. This is where people are going to look in a little bit more at this one right now, FRSX. Right, watch out. Right on that 9 EMA. 284 high a day. It's possibly doing a possible bull pennant. Right here. So you want to see this thing, if you're bullish on it, you want to see this go and break out. But this also, remember, could be a bull pennant or a head and shoulders. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder. If it fails that neckline, that could easily dump. So, the whole point being to show you guys this. This is where the herd is. This is what everybody's watching right now. I don't even have the low. I'm sure I'll show you guys a low float one as well. This is a high a day scanner, and it's still, I have it set at 30 million. It's still got a lot of volume. Probably I'll put it on a. Let's just do this. Let me go to a regular morning scan. Right here. Look at that, guys. Look at this. There you go. Bam. Am I good or what? I put it on a morning scan, which has, look at this, any type of low float stock. And look, what I tell you guys, I wasn't even looking at this. I had my higher float stock, one up, minimum 30 volume, FRSX. Watch this. I didn't even look at trade ideas today. Let's go to our website. Let's go over to the scanners. Right here, trade ideas gappers posted daily. Let's scroll down. See, all right. I don't see it on trade ideas today. Did Dan update it? Oh, if Dan is listening, I don't think Dan, or he didn't clear the cache. Look, that's got 627. I bet you trade ideas gappers. Let me do this. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go and see if those were posted today. Let's see. Give me a moment. Or maybe I have to clear my cache and cookies on my browser. Gotta love it. Keep an eye on AVXL. See if it bounces off that 9 EMA in a 5-minute. I'm keeping an eye on it. And ENDP. That's what another one I'm looking at. Watch for a possible bounce on the 9 EMA on the 5-minute. Oh. I'll have to see. I don't know if we updated gappers today. There could be something wrong with that. But my whole point being is I bet this is on trade ideas. And then there you go. Look at that, guys. Here you go. Lessons. Always trying to teach you guys. Why did I show you guys this? Right here on trade ideas. Went up. I looked away for a few moments. 1-minute chart setup, everybody looking. I told you guys, watch out for possible head and shoulders failure if it didn't go and break out. What did it do? It broke that neckline and then it dropped like, all right, there's 20 cents. I look away, and that's what happens. That's what you get on the lower float stocks. This is why I said if you're new to trading, you have to be able to be near your computer and be able to watch it like a hawk. And as I showed you guys right here, over on a 5-minute chart setup. Where's my 5-minute bull flag? It sure the heck isn't that right now. But over on ENDP, look at slowly building volume, maybe creeping up. Just watching right here to see if it gives me a little hold off that 9 EMA. I'd like to see a green, smaller candle here. Right now, that 5-minute hasn't formed. This is now a head and shoulders. That's not a good sign. I'm just showing you what I'm looking at. I want a 5-minute candle hold above that. If it does, then I could have a cup and handle. If it doesn't, then it's dumping, right? AXL, same exact thing. Right here, it's bouncing off that 9 EMA. If that holds, then you can kind of see that may be a possible flag on a 5-minute that I could risk on and scalp. All right? I'm going to text Dan and ask him if he updated trade ideas today. Did you update trade ideas today? There we go. All right, I'm going to open up chat for one couple moments here on YouTube. If you guys have any questions, let me know if this is making sense to you guys. Giving you guys a little bit of extra. All you people that like to lurk and watch and spy for free. Are the bullish bears legit? Are they teaching stuff right? Do I want to pay them? All that good stuff, right? Are they worth it? Do they know what they're talking about? So if you guys have questions, feel free to post right now. I'm going to give it a few more minutes and then I'll start wrapping up. I'm just giving you freebie some lurking right now. So again, I don't like this. I'm just looking at it. Right now, I'd like to see a smaller greener hold, like a kind of a better candle than this one right here. Oh, Dan said he did update today. So maybe it's my browser. Let's do this. Let me go to another one. So just showing you guys before I look away from AVXL. It's bearish. Right now, don't like it. Want to see a green, smaller candle hold a little bit better. Not like this red doji one right here. Something a little bit better on a 5-minute. Same thing with ENDP. This is what I'm telling you guys. I'm just looking at them closer. Let this 5-minute candle hold. I'd like to see this if it formed. This is what I like if that was a 5-minute hold. That is something I would like to see. But I want to see that 5-minute candle hold. You can see it's creeping. It's got this craziness because then look at right over here. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder. That's a possible head and shoulders pattern. So that's why I like to see this hold. Then it's a possible cup and handle. So now there it's creeping up. Is it going to hold? And you can see some resistance right around that 416 level as well, right up here. So that's your head, left shoulder, right shoulder. That 5-minute candle isn't holding yet. So it's just kind of popping up. It hasn't formed. Then you see it smacks back down. That's why I like to see those 5-minute candles form. Kush Bottles is moving up. Let's see if it's getting volume. Slowly gaining. So keep an eye on Kush Bottles as well. That one just did a morning star in a 5-minute. See if that can go and break above that 520 level. So you guys see these are gravestone and gravestone dragonflies creating indecision. So this indecision over here in a 1 minute chart, you can see over here the 5 minute hasn't formed, and then you can see lots of wicks and shadows. Makes it more challenging when you get that stuff going on. But then again, you can see over here, what is that forming over here? Head, left shoulder, right shoulder, head and shoulders. So if you're bullish on it, you want to see it go and break out above that head and shoulders, get above that 416 and continue up. And right now, again, today, remember, it's a Friday. So if you're new to trading and you're like, oh, why is today such a terrible day, right? Well, it's a Friday. Fridays are they're a bit challenging to trade because nobody knows what's going to happen over the weekend, you know? So holding stocks through the weekend can be very risky at times. Now, keep an eye on this. This may be, again, kind of moves up, pulling back. Watch a 5 minute candle form. See if it holds. This 5 minutes should hold in a moment. This is where maybe this turns into a possible flag, get some volume to potentially break above that pattern. Got to watch and see that 5 minute candle, see if it can hold and go and break out. Jonathan says, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate the insights. You got it, buddy. Still watching and waiting for that candle to form. Now it's formed. Now what is it going to do? Right? So now you can see clear cut head and shoulders, kind of this indecision. Now, again, it's a little bit messier. It's a little bit trickier. So now you got kind of almost a symmetrical triangle. So it's not as clear cut, right? So this is where you could say, okay, kind of the psychology behind this. If you were to take a trade on this, you can say, well, if stock breaks above here, I'll use a candlestick close below this green one as my stop. But many times you'll get a fake out. That's why it's important to look above. Right here, it's shaky. So this is where I'm looking, and I'm saying, I don't know. It's bouncing. Maybe, you know, slowly building the volume. I can see the head, the left shoulder, the right shoulder. Now I can see kind of a neckline. Yep, I can connect my neckline right here. So I can see, okay, or I can kind of connect it up there as well. So this is where, looking at this stuff, guys, now it's bouncing. I can connect my, this is possible symmetrical triangle-ish pattern forming. So if you were to risk on a trade like this, if it breaks above that 415, you could use a candlestick close below that as your stop. Now remember also ENDP, super high float. So as you guys can see, all this action that's going on here right now, it's actually not a lot of risk reward. So even up this right here, this head and shoulders pattern, 418 down to 410. This is all 8 cents. So this is the way to just, what I want to do is just basically show you guys how you can day trade and slow it down where even throughout this entire mess right here that's going on, look at all the time you have to actually see patterns. So you're not going to see this stuff really, not in this long, prolonged period of time with a low floater. So I basically just put some high floaters on here that are small cap stocks that it gives you the ability to make trading decisions. And this is where we want to teach you guys if you're new. Again, the herd, it looks great to come over to FRSX, and you can see this thing move from $1. There's your $1.20 move, right? That's great. But you're going to, you know, you're trying to build your account on 10, 15, 20 cent moves. If you get a move like this, great. Take your profits and get out. These don't happen every day. You know, every day your account is built on those 10, 15 cent grinders and moves. So at this point, not really loving these guys. Even if I go back to AVXL, remember I told you I want to see the 5-minute setup. What did I show you guys? Not holding. Now it's bearish. It's Garbaccio. Lots of Garbaccio right now. So I'm going to reset. 5-minute looks terrible. ESV from earlier, like I was showing you guys. It went up and it rejected. But you can see some support maybe right down here in that 824 area. Bouncing off the 200. So right now, you know, this may be a terrible day. You might come back early next week. Or maybe this will reverse later on in the day today and then go and take off. But right now, no bull flags. Now, Kush bottles, that's possible right now. Kind of cup and handle-ish. Right here, you can see kind of that Morningstar reversal, kind of cup and handle, far away from that 9 EMA. This is where I want to see this 9 EMA catch up. You can see it bouncing right off that 413. Now see if this one can hold, get some volume, and go and take off. Now here's another one that's kind of a small cap stock. Higher float, and it's a pot stock. Now you can see, look, cup and handle-ish. Morningstar, cup and handle-ish. Want to see that 9 EMA catch up and use it as support. 5-minute setup you'd like to see, and then see it go, if it's going to go and launch and break out and continue up and get above that resistance of that 520-ish area. Thanks a lot, buddy. SSJ Goku 7105. Jonathan, your name is much easier. So this is what I'm looking for. Well, wanted to see how it just popped right back up, guys? This is where if you're on a 1 minute, you might be it's kind of these candles. These get a little bit trickier right here, you know. But obviously it's showing you that 515 area. That's very important support level at 513. You want to see if it's going to go and continue up. Patterns. What I'm trying to show you guys is patterns, 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 patterns. Peeps. Want to see again, let that 5-minute candle form. Now it's building a possible kind of ascending triangle. Right now it's going. 5-minute hasn't held yet. See if it retests that 516 level, or right there. See as it's breaking out, indecision. Now it's retesting. So sometimes if you wait for the pullback, or many times, right, this is where it gets a little bit frustrating. Many a times, if you're like myself and you wait for these 5-minute pullbacks and moves, you don't get them. Or many a times, you know, so many times they'll still break out before the 5-minute candle holds or forms. But then many times they're false breakouts as well. You don't wait for them and then they dump. So now is it breaking on a 1 minute? See if it retests the 515, forms a flag to potentially continue up. So you guys can see it kind of formed an ascending triangle. It's breaking out. But remember, you're like, why isn't that thing not moving up very much as it's breaking out? Because remember, it's kind of a higher float stock. So it's just going to kind of slowly grind its way up. But again, what I'm trying to show you guys is learning these patterns, right? You can see right here, see as it's going up. Remember, look, perfect example, guys. Look, that 5-minute candle has not, or did it form? Nope, hasn't formed yet. Like I told you, I was waiting for that 5-minute candle to form. Did it form? No. Did it break out a little bit? Yes. What's it doing now? Possible evening star. Now when you see these wicks like this, it makes it more difficult to trade them. Now, one that might be creeping, not see UEPS, but see, I'm looking at another chart. I'm like, oh, this one's creeping over here because I was seeing this kind of this possible red to green move, possible cup pattern forming. As you guys can see, though, the volume's not coming in. So as I was looking at it, I want to go see, is there volume? Not right now. But this is where a lot of people, you know, it's 10-10. You can see a bunch of garbaccio that I've been showing you guys. So if you're waiting for a 5-minute setup, you're like, oh, man, this day sucks. I don't know. I just kind of want to walk away. But going back to what I was telling you guys, because I get so sidetracked talking, most people don't work from home and have all the time in the world, right? They have families, kids, distractions, you know, they can't just stare at their, you know, get in and out. They don't have seconds. That's the whole thing that most people don't realize when they want to learn day trading. They get this illusion because it's a picture, right? So see if this sounds familiar. If this is you, and one day you were like, I don't know if I like my job. I want to make more money. Trading sounds awesome. The stock market's at all-time highs. Hey, I have 5,000 or 10,000 to play with. I want to go day trade. So how do I day trade? I can't afford Apple and Facebook because those are very expensive. Oh yeah, I've heard about these penny stocks. And oh yeah, how about that Bitcoin? Bitcoin's shooting up. Does Bitcoin have any cheap stocks? Let me go take a look. Oh yeah, they got some penny stocks. Holy cow, let's go take a look at Bitcoin's penny stocks and see what's going on there. Let's look at a stock like, oh, what the hell was that stock that I had on the other day? Not BTC. BITCF? I think that might be one. BITCF. There we go. I think I think this is a penny stock for Bitcoin, let's say. Yeah, so like, piece of shit. I mean, so here you go, guys. Here you go. I think this is one. Cryptocurrency. Here you go. Yeah, I'll pull ENDP. Sorry, guys, I'm going on a rant. Let me pull that one up for a second. Let me pull up. Where the heck did I have it? Oh. Let's touch on ENDP. ENDP is dumping. Let me go pull that one up. Remind me to pull up BITCF, but what the heck was ENDP. This is a perfect lesson I wanted to show you guys. Great question, Jonathan. So can I touch on? So there's so many good lessons on this, right? So first of all, I'd show you, I'd be like, if I was just looking at my 5-minute chart, I'm like, that's a piece of garbage. I'm going to go walk away and not look right now. But then it's because as I was showing you guys, I said, watch for that green 5-minute candle to form. There was your green 5-minute candle. I said, look for it to get above it and see if it can continue. But I didn't like it as much because of I wanted to see a better confirmation. What did it do? It didn't break above that candle and it took a dump. Now you have a double top failure, neckline failure. So it failed this neckline kind of up here, and then you could have extended out over here. So now at this point, you'd walk away and be like, ah, this is a piece of crap today. What a terrible day. But hold on a second. Not so fast. Because you can see some possible support here right around above $4. You can say, oh, big deal. What's going on with that? Well, let me zoom out. Right above $4. And then you can see a top up here. Now you have this kind of double top failure. Now, this is where I was saying to you guys, many times these stocks will go and then they'll pull back. Well, if it bounces off that 9 EMA down over here, which is looking, as of right now, it's bouncing off the 9 EMA or right above it, You might come back. It might be today, tomorrow, next week. So first of all, if it fails the 9 EMA, that's crap. That's, you know, it's bearish. But if it goes and bounces up, this thing may bounce off the 9 EMA, getting set up for, you know, at some point to get above right here, that 20 EMA right there. So it's caught between the 9 and the 20 right now. That's why this is trading sideways. Hopefully that helps you. All right, BITCF. So this piece of crap. Bitcoin penny stocks. No, you're like, hey, I want to get in penny stocks. I want to learn trading. Cool. Let me go see, is there a Bitcoin penny stock? Holy cow, 26 cents BITCF. That thing was $3 back in whatever, a year or two ago. OMG. I'm going to buy this stock because it's 26 cents and it was $3. If that thing I could buy, oh my God, 26 cents. I have, hold on. So, right, so now you're, you know, maybe you're a dude. Women are probably smarter at, you know, making proper decisions. Many guys, right? Guys, you might be listening saying, oh, I got $5,000 in this account that my wife doesn't know about. And Bitcoin's going to the moon because I've been reading lots of articles that Bitcoin's going to be the future. And so I'm going to take that $5,000 account that I have right now and I'm going to put it all into this penny stock. Because look at it. It's 26 cents. This thing just shot up from 10 cents to 26 cents. This thing's going to the moon. Now, in fairness, this one actually might be launching. So just to give you guys a heads up with Bitcoin, this is kind of a possible flag pattern. So just be aware, it's very overextended, but Bitcoin is just, it's just bat, you know what, crazy. This one actually might be setting up to break out. So, but look, so like this is the crap that you see. It shoots up and it pumps back down. Most new people, they buy up here, right here. So this is where, this is as far as charts go. Keep an eye on this stupid stock. This stock might launch. But just to let you know, the technical is very overextended. But it's pumping up. Like, this is what it's doing. Guys, this is a pump and dump. Look at that piece of right here. Like, come on, guys. Look at this shit. Look at it. Look at it. I mean, this is what it does. Here's your pattern right here. They sucker the new. Here's where the professionals bought it. Right here. 19 cents, and they pumped it up. And you know what they did? Right here, you get all excited so that you're this guy. So probably what's going to happen is now you have your $5,000 brokerage account, guys, right? Yeah, I know you're listening if you're listening right here. Now you take your $5,000 and you're like, all right, Bitcoin, I could buy it right here at 85 cents. It was $3. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my $5,000 and I can get 5,000 shares right here times 85 cents. 5 times 85 cents. Hold on, Danny's calling me. Hold on. That was Danny. Danny calling me. So now, all right, guys. So here's it is. I know you're feeling me on this one, right? $5,000, 80 something cents, or 5,000 shares. I'm gonna put 4,250 in this stock right here, Bitcoin, because guess what? Here's the thing. If it goes times 3, if it goes back to $3, right? I will get $15,000. And $15,000 minus that, what was that, 4,250? I just made $10,000. So I got this small little account. Wifey doesn't know about it. Put $4,000 in, no big deal. Gonna buy this cheapo penny stock before it goes and shoots and goes to the moon again. Put my 4,250 in, and then a few weeks later, you're like, what the hell just happened? It's 18 cents now. They just told me Bitcoin's going to the moon. Well, what happened here? But then everybody said, oh, it's just a little pullback, just a correction. Hold on, but it went from 80 cents down to 17 cents. Now my 0.18 cents times 5,000 shares. Now I have 900 bucks. I just put 40. What the hell's what's going on? And then time just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and trades sideways all that time. And at this point, you're probably demoralized at this point, right? Just demoralized. I just got to take my losses. Maybe you lost half of your money. And then what did it do? Bitcoin pumpers pumped it to the... actually, this is probably the one where it was $3. Pumped it up. Okay, so probably further this way. It gets worse this way. Yeah, so it actually got worse for you after you bought it, right? Look at this. Look at this. Just, what is this crap? But, here's the thing. Right here. This is probably getting ready to pump and break out. Potentially. This is a bull pennant that could take off. Hello, Dan. How do I get trend lines to go across the screen without using the mouse to make your line? So right here, I just, if you just right click on this line, edit properties, I put left extension on, right extension on, hit OK. Or save as default and then hit OK. So this is what happens with penny stocks, guys, right? The pump and the dump. It's traders. They pump it and then they dump it. Terrible technicals on this, but you can see the pattern. Don't be surprised if this thing takes off and then dumps. But here you go. Go over to Bitcoin in general. BTC. So Bitcoin, now, this gets crazy because you have this big kind of overall cup and handle. This thing may be looking to launch again, so now it's hitting off this 9 EMA. It pulled back to the 9 EMA, right? So now it's kind of going, pulling back down. Maybe setting up for another pump. Again, these candles very, very huge. Let's look at BTC or GBTC. That's actually, I think, a reasonably priced one to trade. GBTC, 15 bucks. That one may be setting up potentially. You can see kind of a head and shoulders pattern back down. This gets a little bit crazier, but this one may go and want to launch, but it could also dump. So you look at this and you're just like, what the hell? That's a cup and handle, but that's also a head and shoulders. It's far away. This could pump or it can dump. What do you do? I mean, this is why we teach you how to trade an intraday trade and take your profits. It's not good risk management. But, I mean, it's setting up for a possible pump, but it easily could dump on you. This could easily just completely take a dump. And look, so hey guys, not much. The only one I'm looking at is right now maybe Kush bottles. Right here. Only one, maybe right here. Watching for this possible hold of that 9 EMA. They're on that 510. And see if that'll give me a little candle hold for a possible move up. At this point, not liking much else. But if it can go and get above, remember this pot stock sector kind of runs like Bitcoin. It pumps and dumps, so this one may be setting up for a pump. This is one I'd keep an eye on right now. Alright guys, I'm going to end this stream, let you guys go. Gave you more of a sneak preview than I thought. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy.